Good evening and welcome to the Whisky Lover Society with me, Gert Retief. And today we are looking at the GlenAllenchie 12-year-old Speyside Single Malt Scotch Whisky. Natural color, non-chill filtered, bottled at 46% alcohol per volume, and the cost is around 46 euros per bottle for a 70 centiliters. So this is the second review that I'm doing from GlenAllenchie. Check out my previous review. I will put that in a link. That was the 10-year-old cask strength. For this one, it is still actually a little bit high, so for me it's fantastic. Anything above the 46% is worth the while for me. So on the nose, it's quite a sweet whiskey. Definitely lots of the raisin notes, a little bit of a vanilla, I do get a little bit of a butterscotch sweets in the background. Actually, the alcohol is quite strong. I was a bit surprised with the hit of alcohol. But if you do go deep into the glass, definitely the 46% is definitely shining through. But the sweetness is lovely, a little bit like a toffee note. Also, I get a little bit of a chocolate note, but it's a sweet chocolate, so not a dark chocolate, more a little bit less cocoa in it, maybe 50% or even 40% cocoa in it, so quite a lot of sweetness in the taste. So yeah, that is quite a lovely nose. I don't think there's anything spectacular with regards to the nose. I think it is just a normal Speyside influences that you get. So, but other than that, there's nothing that stands out as being exceptional. So on the taste, I definitely get the alcohol at the 46%. Yeah, I do get it. In fact, it feels a little bit less than the cask strength one, for me anyway. So there's a little bit of a tingling sensation on the tongue. Not so sweet. So I had a lot of sweetness in the nosing of it. The sweetness is still there, but definitely toned down quite a lot. A little bit of a honey note. I also get a little bit of the caramel that's still there, but it's a little bit on the burnt caramel. The tannins are definitely showing through. I think I'm not sure on how long it was in the European casks, but it's definitely showing up. So there is a bitterness, a hint of bitterness. in the background, and especially in the aftertaste you get the sweet, and when you get the bitter notes. But it is not really unpleasant bitter notes. If I have to score it between 1 and 10, I would give it maybe a 2 or 3 out of the 10. So the bitter notes is not unpleasant. I also get a little bit of the chocolate notes, and I think from the nose where it was a nice sweet type of chocolate, I think when you taste it, it changes a little bit into a little bit of a 70% or 80% of your cocoa. So the bitter notes are definitely there. So there is quite an influence of the cask, and probably from the European casks. So that is me with regards to the Glenallanchie. I'm just going to add maybe a little bit of water, maybe a little bit, a teaspoon of water, to see if it makes a big difference. It does give it a little bit more vanilla notes coming out, a little bit more of the sherry cask coming out. I'm not sure of adding, maybe I added a little bit too much water. It feels like it's toning down a little bit now. But I do get the vanilla notes. So on the taste, I would not recommend putting water in this one. It is bottled at 46%, and in fact, this time around for me it was a little bit different. Normally if I add water, it brings down the oak levels and it brings up the sugar levels. And for me, I think that it's a little bit more oaky now. Definitely quite a lot more oak, but it's still maybe 4 out of the 10 when it comes to the bitterness of the oak. It is a little bit on the sour side as well, a little bit of a sour note coming out. All in all, I think it's quite pleasant. Will I buy it again? I'm not sure. I think I've just had the cask strength 10-year-old, and I think it is much better than this one. Probably a little bit cheaper, but I think I will definitely rather buy the cask strength. Add a couple of drops of water, and that for me was really nice. This one is nice, and I think that is also something that it's not going to break the bank. And that's something that I will definitely share with my friends, but I'm not 100% sure if it is a good buy, considering that the cask strength for me was so much better than this one. So I'd rather spend a little bit more money and buy something that I really like. Would I recommend it? Absolutely, I would recommend this one. That is something that it is enjoyable, but I think it's also a good idea to try out the cask strength, or maybe the 15-year-old. I've had the 15-year-old a couple of years ago, but I didn't enjoy that so much because of the oakiness that also started shining through at the 15-year-old one. So I see that in the 12-year-old, and if I go back in the memory bank, and I can also remember that the big thing that I had with the 15-year-old, the normal bottling, it was quite oaky as well. So if you do like the oak, absolutely buy it. If you're not a fan of the oak, maybe consider the cask strength, a 10-year-old cask strength. For me, that was a perfect balance between the sweetness and the oak. And if I look at this one, the 12-year-old normal one, for me that was a little bit the oak is definitely there. And so buy it if you like the oak. Maybe if you don't like the oak so much, consider trying the cask strength, a lot less oak. So that is me on the GlenAllenchie 12-year-old, and I see you next time. And please remember to like and subscribe. Cheers.